Welcome to one of the oldest cities of India, Cuttack. Yes, people, this place is more than, now hold your breath, 1,000 years old. Need I say that it reeks of history? Well, stay with me and we'll explore the essence of what used to be the capital of Orissa for no less than 9 centuries. The other building that stands testimony to time is the Barabati Fort, outside the Barabati Stadium. Well, not much is left of it, but one can imagine its importance. Cuttack is on the banks of the Mahanadi, and I decided to take a boat ride to the river island of Dhabaleshwar, which has an ancient Ram temple, which also is a pilgrimage place for a lot of locals out here. Connecting the island to the mainland for pilgrims is the Jhula Setu, or the suspension bridge, offering a great view. Right outside the temple, I decided to sample a locally famous snack, the Dahi Vada. In Cuttack, one can never be too far away from ancient history or religion. But do not come here with preconceived notions of grandeur. Not much remains of the past, and the people themselves seem to have forgotten their own heritage. There is still lots to see though, provided you can find it on your own. And temples dedicated to Chandi, the reigning deity, exist at every turn. Orissa is also very famous for its handicrafts like pipli, applique, filigree and carving. Bhubaneswar is the entry point to Cuttack, and if you seek the divine, then Bhubaneswar would go down very well. It is better known as a temple city. Because there are a multitude of temples. The ride between Cuttack and Bhubaneswar along the banks of the Mahanadi is absolutely amazing. The Ram Mandir Square is fascinating as it has the city's only Catholic church that coexists happily next to the famous Ram Mandir. This is quite the center of the city, as there are popular stores, cineplexes and posh hotels like the new Marion. Just a few kilometers away is one of the finest examples of a Hindu place of worship, the Lingaraja temple. It dates back to the 10th century, and thousands of devout Hindus pay their tributes here every day. If only walls could speak, what tales they'd tell. But believe me, if ruins and history fascinate you, then you should make your way here.
Hello everybody, I am Archana.
And I'm Christine.
You know Christine, the outfield here is so green. The players must have a blast diving all over the place. As for me, I've decided to take off my shoes and go for a walk.
Like this? Well, I totally agree with you, Archana. It's so green, it gives my green a complex. And it's also so colorful.
I know, they've taken a lot of effort to dress this place up almost like a Christmas tree.
Well, getting back to reality, I have a press conference to attend, so I'm going to go and check that out and I'll catch up with you later. Here I am at Team India's press conference. Let's see what Rahul Dravid has to say about the upcoming match.
For us, it's about striking the balance and just trying to get the best combination. They're good players. They've got some very good players in their team. You know, Chandrapal, Gail, Lara are the key members in their team, and hopefully, if we can get them out early, then we can put them under a lot of pressure. There's no doubt about Srishant, but it's just that Jogendra Sharma is obviously slightly more of an all-rounder option in this scenario. We've got to just try and get as good as we can. You know, there are a lot of guys in this team who will not become brilliant, but at least they have to be good and we have to hold all our catches. That's what we need to focus on. I mean, when we picked a lot of the youngsters, the criticism was that, you know, you're not picking the experienced players. So when you pick the experienced players, you've got to accept that the fielding is not going to be that brilliant. You know, that's just a fact. You know, you have to accept it. हर एरिया में सुधार की गुंजाइश है. हर क्रिकेट के हर बैटिंग में, बॉलिंग में, फील्डिंग में, रनिंग बिटवीन द विकेट्स में, कैचिंग में, फिटनेस में हर एरिया में इम्प्रूवमेंट.
Well, that should keep the press happy for a while. Right now, let's see what Archana's up to.
Well, we saw the Indian players practice in the morning. Now come the afternoon, it's the turn of the West Indians to take to the field and get in as much practice as they can before tomorrow's match.
So we heard from Dravid at the Team India press conference earlier. Now let's see how Brian Lara plans to counter the Indian attack.
No, I think first of all we have a couple niggling injuries, but I'm not feeling too well. Also, of course, Bravo I still got hit on the field a couple of days ago, chasing 338. I thought it was a very good effort. I think actually we took a lot of positives out of the game, and you know, normally in a situation like that, you know, a lot of teams would have lost the game by the halfway stage. India is very difficult to beat here, so if we can get some wins under our belt, definitely it's going to do our confidence good.
Okay, so we've had quite a hectic day right here at the Barabati Stadium in Cuttack.
Well, you know what? With 3 matches to go at the Pepsi Cup, it still could be anyone's series.
That is right. I guess we'll just have to wait and watch.
Exotic Chennai welcomes you. Think Chennai and you think of the beaches, steaming idlis and filter coffee. You also think of movies and larger-than-life billboards. You think of lots of fresh flowers that adorn women's dresses and grand silk saris. This and lots more is Chennai for you.
This city is such a mix of various hues, but in the end, the rich color of its diversity is what impresses most.
The beachfronts in the city are where the citizens flock. Ideal places to walk and reflect on the day gone by, or to just let the water kiss your feet. Marina Beach is Chennai's most loved landmark.
Marina Beach is the second largest beach in the world and it stretches for 2.5 miles. Colonial Chennai is all about imposing buildings like the Senate building, around which the Madras University was built, and of course the Fort St. George. There is also the Law College at Parry's Corner near the High Court. Interestingly, in an area called White Town, where the Englishmen lived during the Raj. Black Town across the road is where the Indians used to live. The St. Thom Basilica houses the remains of St. Thomas, Apostle of Jesus Christ. And would you believe it? It dates back to the 16th century.
The St. Thom Basilica is one spot that people throng to for religious reasons and for the love of architecture. The Gothic style impresses, as do the stained glass windows.
Driving through Chennai, I came to know one interesting bit of trivia.
In case you're wondering why I'm standing outside a hospital, it's only because of my devotion to cricket. Dr. Malar is also Mrs. Muttaya Muralitharan.
Murali was nowhere to be found, so I proceeded to the next stop on my Chennai agenda, a filter coffee shop. I even tried my hands at mixing my own brew.
I'm making a pit stop at the famous Murugan Idli shop for lunch. I'm really hungry and I'm going to try some authentic Tamilian food which is typically served on a banana leaf. And now I'm going to get my hands all dirty.
Eaten enough to last a week, but I was in a mood to spoil myself, so I went shopping.
If in Chennai you can't not shop for the most famous Kanchipuram silk saris, I'm now going to buy my first sari at the Hayagriha Silk House. I could go on and on about the city that has so much to offer. I sure had lots of fun and will definitely come back for more. Hello, we are in Baroda and I'm standing at the Mandvi Gate, central observatory point and one of the entry gates into the historical fort city of Baroda. Come in with me and let's see what this city has to offer. Vad means banyan in Gujarati. Vadodara is so named because of its numerous banyan trees. The Gaikwad Kingdom of Vadodara is more than 200 years old. Old buildings still dot the city all over. Vadodara, as it is officially known, stands testimony to the great city builder that its ruler, Maharaja Sayaji Rao, was. The famous Maharaja Sayaji Rao University, built by him, is one such architectural marvel. The Lakshmi Vilas Palace is where the Gaikwads, the rulers of Baroda, live. Few years ago, a hidden treasure belonging to the earlier kings was found inside. The present-day Gaikwads still own almost 30% of the city. The old has paved way for the new in Baroda. The density of malls and branded showrooms is more than any metro. As you can see, Baroda has a huge gully cricket culture. In fact, as I speak, there's a championship that's going on. No wonder it has produced such great cricketing stalwart. I was invited to play too. For a beginner, I didn't do too bad. My stomach is growling with hunger and I'm going to step inside to grab myself a Gujarati thali. I can't wait for my food to arrive. And here it is. This is what a typical Gujarati thali looks like. Gujarati food is mainly vegetarian and they mostly don't use onion and garlic. The food is simple and yet so delicious. The Gujus love their farsan or snacks and I sampled some. They were so delicious, I couldn't stop eating. After all the eating and the snacking, one must top it off with some mukhwas. Mukhwas or mouth freshener is special to this part of the world and comes in more than 100 varieties. It also has digestive qualities. I decided to end my Baroda trip with some Mojari shopping. Hasn't this been quite the fun, colourful and gastronomical journey? Do make it a point to visit. Tour Diary will bring you lots more cities in the upcoming series. See you then.